Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to take a deep dive into monogamy. We're going to take a look at the history. Where did it come from? How did it come to be implemented and accepted? And is it natural for our species? We might answer another couple of questions in there as well. Now, this video does not seek to be the end all and be all and final say on the matter of monogamy. This video instead seeks to take a preliminary look and open up the lines of communication and discussion with regards to the concept and belief of monogamy. For those of you who don't know me already, my name is Marnie. I am also known as the Intuitive Butterfly. I am not just a psychic and tarot reader, but I am also a certified counselor and certified hypnotherapist. And one of the reasons that I've decided to take the deep dive into monogamy at this time is because I am seeing more and more clients who are coming to me and questioning current belief systems surrounding love and relationships. So let's go. At one time in our not so recent past, monogamy wasn't even a thing. Promiscuity was the norm. And promiscuity was the norm in hunter gatherer societies because it was absolutely necessary for their survival. Everything had to be shared, from the berries or other foods that were collected to sharing the food from a kill to sharing warmth at night on those cold winter nights, especially here in North America, to sharing shelter, to sharing beds. It was absolutely necessary. Now, take that one step further. And although our hunter gatherer ancestors were not aware of the genetics as we are today, there was something innate in them that helped them to understand that sharing their genetic material was also necessary for their survival. This may be a hard concept to swallow, but hunter-gatherer societies, tribes, communities were rather small, and therefore the genetic base from which to draw upon for procreation was also small, which meant that at times there may have been what we call today inbreeding. But by sharing around the DNA, they were able to propagate who we are today. We are here today because of the practice of promiscuity in the past. Now, for many of you, that may be a hard pill to swallow. I'm going to read a quote from Joe Rogan. Now, this is from a podcast that he did with Chris Ryan, who wrote the book Sex at Dawn, and this is from 6 years ago. Joe Rogan says, quote, "When it comes to monogamy and sexuality, people have a notion in their head, and that notion almost always aligns with how they are living their life." End quote. So, oftentimes, when people hear things that are not in alignment with their belief systems, click, they turn it off because they can't bear to hear something that is not in alignment with their belief systems. But part of the reason that I'm making this video today is because people are questioning their belief systems. People are questioning, why do we live our lives the way that we live them? And monogamy is one of those big concepts or belief systems that is being brought into question today. Now, I'm not saying that I am the expert and the buck ends with me in this video. What I am trying to present to people right now is the concept that it's okay to talk about some of this stuff. I am looking over at my notes here, so I do apologize. One of the concepts from the past, one of the sayings that we have from the past is it takes a village to raise a child. That concept came about because back in humanity's hunter-gatherers promiscuity days, paternity was almost impossible to determine. If men and women were sharing their genetics in a very interesting way, shall we say, depending on the tribe or the culture. And given that they didn't have the technology that we have today to be able to determine paternity, it was impossible. So it took a village. Children were treated as equals, and it didn't matter who their mom was or who their dad was. They were part of the tribe. And by being in an equality, an egalitarian society, that brought us to where we are today. But something happened. What happened? Well, according to Chris Ryan, who I've mentioned already, who wrote the book Sex at Dawn, what happened and what changed was agriculture. And it was at that point in our history when we moved from hunter-gatherer to agriculturalism that monogamy was born. Now, I will argue one step further that something else happened at around the same time that we left hunter-gatherer and we moved into an agricultural society. What else happened? Here comes the controversy. Religion. Religion was born around the same time. Now, you may be asking, what does religion have to do with agriculturalism, monogamy, and the move from hunter-gatherer into a more agricultural society? One of the tenets of Christianity, anyway, and actually of many of the world religions, is monogamy. In Christianity, where did that come from? It can be narrowed down to one phrase. Actually, there's probably a lot more examples, but there's one in particular. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, ox, nor slaves. And with that phrase, we bring in the concept of possession. Possession of another person, possession of someone else's property, being slaves or a wife, possession of someone else's animals, being the ox or oxen or chickens or cows, whatever. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor ox, nor slaves. Would we be here as a society today, in our current iteration, if we had treated each other as possessions when we were hunter-gatherers? There's a question with a little bit of food for thought, right? So let's dive into something even more controversial. Now that we've brought up religion, and we've already stated that most religions promote monogamy, let's dive into why. Why do religions promote monogamy? Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to go even deeper on this concept, because I'm going to gloss this one over because this is controversial. Really controversial. Who led most religions? Well, let me see. We have Jesus, Muhammad, Vyasa, Joshua, Moses, Buddha. And most of those religions promote women as a possession. Most of those religions promote monogamy. Take that one step further. You even move into certain sects of some of those religions, and they promote or are permissive of one man having permission to own more than one wife. Is this natural? I'm going to just touch on this part of it. Is monogamy natural? Humans share 98.4% of their DNA genome with chimps and bonobos. Neither one of those species are monogamous. And yet we are. Just food for thought. One of the things that Chris Ryan says in his book is a lot of people are in relationships that they're trying to make fit into what they believe is the right way to have a relationship. And oftentimes that doesn't work. End quote. He goes on to talk about shame, regret, and resentment. Opening up this line of communication, this line of questioning, it terrifies some and it liberates others. This is a paraphrase of something that Chris Ryan said. Now, Chris Ryan was lambasted for his book. How dare he questioned monogamy? Oh my goodness, that's one of our most deeply held belief systems. That's why we are here today. That is what many people would have you believe, that we are here today as a direct result of monogamy. But are we? If you look back to hunter-gatherers, we may not be here at all if they had not practiced promiscuity. Just checking over my notes, make sure I'm not going to miss anything here. Let me gather my thoughts. The question may come up, is monogamy right for me? Do I dare question this? You don't have to answer that question today. I know I have not answered that question for you today. But I do believe that one of the things that I have done is opened the door for communication. Open communication is a way forward for relationships, for all of us. Chris Ryan argues that agriculture destroys lives, health, sex lives. This will be controversial. I argue that religion and masculine insecurity has destroyed lives. When we were hunter-gatherers, we were more peaceful. We were promiscuous. Today, we're warmongering. We're always arguing. We're litigious over our possessions. Not just litigious over a car accident and you ruined my car. We're litigious over the property, Mother Earth. And we're litigious over people, treating people as possessions. Now, this video serves to open the lines of communication. It doesn't serve to be right or wrong. This video is so that people have an opportunity to talk about monogamy with maybe a sprinkling of a little bit more information, a little bit of history in there. Most people are too scared to talk about monogamy. Most people are too scared to talk about religion in relation to monogamy. Most people are too scared to mention that we not only treat our possessions as possessions, but we treat people as possessions. Hopefully, this video has opened the door for many of you to be able to have different conversations with your friends, your family, and most importantly, with your partners. So if you've liked this video and you'd like to see more content like this, please hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and watch for more videos about relationships and how to open communication with your partners, whatever works for you.